Look at those grey skies, leaden skies over Headingley, but the Leeds Rhinos are ahead by 18 points to 4. They were 12-0 down at one stage. 18 points to 14. Well, just looking ahead a week for Sam Hobbs and company, the Wildcats, in conjunction with their club sponsors, they're announcing that next week's game against Wigan on Sunday the 13th is going to be known as the Golden Game. They're going to celebrate their glorious past in Wakefield, and also there's going to be about £10,000 up for grabs for supporters who go along there next week. So that should be very, very well attending next Sunday. That kickoff is out on the full. That's not a golden kickoff for Paul Cook.
Leaden foot. Oh, did well there, didn't he? Knew exactly what was happening, Diskin. Knows the laws of the game. And Cook shakes his head and realises it's one thing that John Keir, the Wakefield coach, would have wanted. He was hoping that they could get down there and maybe force the error.
Not the start that Wakefield wanted. Here's Diskin now, and Eastwood will drive it forward.
And I just get the impression that Brian McLennan had said to the Rhino players, look, enjoy it now. You've been supporting well, you've been turning in the tackle and offloading. Oh, nearly offloaded well there.
That's dry weather football from Keith Senior. Here goes Morrison again. Brought down by Webb on the zero tackle. Damien Blanche attacks him down the short side. Were they all onside then, Leeds?
I don't think so. Lee Smith certainly wasn't. Well, I expected him to come out with a lot of flair, and they did, but it didn't come off.
Dimitriou will drive it forward for Wakefield now.
And it's important now that the Wakefield forwards start taking a little bit of control. They struggled late in that second half to get any good field position. Oh, and they spilled the ball, weight conditions, but that'll be a bad error down to Paul Cook. And Webb's knocked on as well. Oh, he's not happy.
No advantage serves the referee. They'll take the first one.
Take the first knock on, you never even gain possession properly.
Actually, Kelman might have been penalised then.
There you go. Yeah, man.
Difficult to tell.
He shouted play on, the referee, didn't he?
Yeah,
I didn't think at the time they'd got over the advantage line.
Diskin, look at that. That's superb. And you know, it's wonderful to know that a lot of players know the rules. But he is a hooker.
Well, the foot over the line was the critical thing, wasn't it? That means the ball is out.
I think the ball would have landed over the line anyway, Eddie, wouldn't it? It was already the way it was going.
There's a loose forwards view of the hookers.
No, but I am impressed with Matt Diskin. I thought it was a good interview from him before the game, and his maturity really has impressed me from when he was first involved with the Great Britain side. He's done well to continue his career with Danny Badiris here. He's playing as well as ever, and he's taking his team forward here now.
Good thinking as well.
It was good thinking. It's interesting what he said as well, that he thought when the Badiris signing was announced it might have been handled a bit better. He was gutted, he said, didn't he?
Yeah, it was right, and to be fair, who wouldn't be? But Leeds, and we'd seen it with Roby and Cunningham at St. Helens, it has been a huge success. And remember, when Diskin was out injured, they struggled a bit, did Leeds, so they've got to have a backup.
You got the chance to get one of the best hookers in the world coming to your club. I mean, I think it's a compliment.
Leeds in possession because Wakefield Court not standing square. There is one of the best in the world, Danny Badiris. There's Maguire, now it's with Sinfield. Leeds fanning out across the field, comes back though on the inside with Ablett. Diskin and Maguire. Oh, he jinks his way through the first would-be tackler. Dimitriou did well then to keep him out. Eastwood's pass has gone to Luke George.
Good work by Delaney. George was coming on the angle and he would have got it into open space. There was no one at home. Webb was in the attacking lineup.
It's making for entertainment for us, but why on earth would they not just try and hang on to the football in these conditions? Big shiner developing maybe for Danny Badiris under the left eye. Had an ice pack on a few minutes ago. Oh, that's a great run from Paul King.
They wear it as a badge of honor.
Jeffries.
Now it's a
Easy
chase.
for Webb.
It has to be a good chase, and it is.
Donald.
You know, it might not have made a lot of ground for the Leeds side, but it made several of the Wakefield players work harder than they really wanted to do. They've probably run 25 metres more than they wanted to at pace, and that certainly, over the game of the course of 80 minutes, has a cumulative effect to drain the Wildcats.
Diskin's there again. Here goes Delaney.
Good basic play by the Rhinos as well.
Peacock.
We're in a good position now to take control with a kick and chase.
Last tackle, 40 metres out. Here's Maguire. Dabs the kick over the top, and that will skim away on this wet surface, but the right side of the corner flag as far as the Rhinos and Maguire are concerned.
And again, intelligent kick from Maguire. Puts it into terra firma. That's all you need. And we've seen so many errors with the ball carrier losing possession. They'll be applying the pressure here now.
Heads in, Sam. Heads in.
There was nothing fancy in that set, Steve-O. Simply get to the kick, put it in the corner. Wakefield could take a lesson from that last set that Leeds completed.
Well, I'm sure that John Keir would have mentioned that. Remember, just a minute and a half before the first half finished. Remember, Sean Gleeson offloaded when he didn't have to. Safety first at times. You've got to do it.
St Helens 26-6 at the KC Stadium against Hull FC. They have something, of course, to repay Hull with after their opening day victory at Nosey Road, engineered by Sean Long. But Francis Melly, on his return to the team, has picked up 4 tries at the KC Stadium, we're told. There's a 40-20 opportunity here, but that's out in the floor again from Sam Obst. That will be brought right the way back from where the kick was taken.
Well, it's what they needed, but I'm afraid he just skewed off the right-hand side, and he knows that it's going to be even more pressure.
No, every player and every team will make mistakes. It's your response on the back of it here now. How quickly can Wakefield recover mentally and physically? You know, this is the 3rd time they're having to start inside their own half of the field. Self-induced errors, but you have to be strong enough to ride through these tough periods.
First tackle was important by Morrison on Smith. Here is Sinfield. Second tackle on the run from Glenn Morrison.
That takes him up to 21 in this game, and he'll add at least another 10 more, I'm sure.
What a warrior Peacock is. Diskin. Maguire gives it to Eastwood.
And again, that inside pass is really confusing this Wakefield defence. And you can see that Kirk, they're looking for the offload yet again. It's been impressive, the offload from the Rhinos tonight.
Lovely little dab into the in goal. And across they come again to the rescue, this time Aaron Murphy.
Eddie, what about the catch there from Danny Maguire? He just threw out the right hand and he almost stuck to it, didn't he? The ball was in front of him before we saw the quality of the kick. Look at that. In these conditions, there's super glue on his fingers.
Wonderful hands. Great dropout.
It's a good dropout. Here's Maguire, and he's giving it to Peacock. He takes on Cook and Morrison.
Well, the way Maguire's playing, it was no surprise, was it, Eddie, that he was included in the England squad to take on France.
Yeah, a lot of young pretenders about, Tompkins, Eastman and company, but Maguire...
Oh, he's been sensational over the past 4 to 5 weeks.
No Myler, of course, because he's out injured, but Maguire has come back. But Ablett has lost possession.
It's field position that the Wildcats need at the moment. They found it very difficult because Leeds' defence, it was a bit shady in the opening 15-20 minutes. And they really have muscled up, they've got it all sorted out. And the continuation of Leeds when they got ball in hand to bring it back on the inside runner in and around the play the ball area is tiring the Wakefield side out.
Good run there from Kermon, though. Here's Dimitriou. And Dimitriou has got a penalty here for ball stealing. A born leader is Jason Dimitriou, according to his coach.
Well, he's been wonderful, hasn't he, for the side? This is his 175th game in the Wakefield colours. I'm not so sure that was reefed out, but either way, they need it. Now they've got to look towards Obst.
Who would have thought when he came over to play for Lancashire Lynx that he'd go on to represent the Wildcats so strongly? Here they are now pressing to the line. This is the range from which they can score, Eddie.
It is, it's Henderson. Ablett having a devil's own job bringing him down. The mistake from Ablett at the other end. He's just conceded the penalty, and they have got over for the try with Aaron Murphy. Aaron Murphy silences Headingley again. There was the error underneath the Wakefield post, then there was the penalty. They've come forward, and they've got over with the try, Aaron Murphy. John Keir disappointed he isn't in the England squad for next week. Still time, though, for the Four Nations.
His time will come, and it was a reef out there by Eastwood, should I say. Got to give him a compass right, but that was a good finish. And again, worked on that short blind side by Obbs. It was only a simple pass, but it was sufficient. Nothing that Sinfield could do about stopping this fella, Aaron Murphy. And I'm with you, Eddie. He's a great talent, and his time will come.
He's only 21. What about, we haven't heard from you, by the way. We discussed it on Boots and All because you weren't there, of course, on Wednesday. What about the Gareth Widder selection from the Melbourne Storm for England? In favour of that?
Yes, I am. I think it's a fine selection. There was a lot of rumours around in regards to that within the next couple of weeks he was obtaining a dual passport, so therefore he could have been selected for Australia. I think it's wise of Steve McNamara. I know he hasn't played many games in the top grade, but the last two that he's played for Melbourne Storm have been outstanding, and the fact he's a brilliant goal kicker.
Should Mark Flanagan not be a bit peeved?
Cook adds.
I think everybody's peeved.
No, he doesn't.
And that's how it should be. Anyone that's left out of an international side, I don't want them to smile and say, oh, well, that's how it is. No, I want them to really dig deep and say, I'm going to fight my way back. And that's what we need. But I'm very pleased that Steve McNamara has gone for a strong side.
Paul Cook has just missed the first goal kick of the evening. So it's at level pegging at Headingley, 18 all. Deep kick-off. Jeffries is underneath it. Here's Korkidas. Gets as far as Kirk and Co. 26-12 now. St Helens against Hull. An hour gone there. Here, 18 all. And news from the Wakefield camp, Bill.
Yeah, Wakefield, one or two problems on the sidelines. Paul Johnson came off just towards the end of that first half. He's got a bang in the mouth. I think, in fact, he's lost a tooth. He's got a bang on the side of the head. He's got a stiff neck. And they're just keeping an eye on him because that's, according to the Wakefield medical side, is just one bang too many for Paul Johnson. So he's still sitting the game out. They're possibly reluctant to put him back on. Michael Korkidas, I understand, has had 6 stitches in that cut in his eyebrow. Sam Obst is out there with that bandage on. He's going to need stitching after the game. And Sam Obst is an irrepressible figure at the moment. He really is organising things out there for Wakefield. Noticed him just a moment ago, just directing them straight up the middle of the field. That's where they're going, he said.
Yeah, they're brave, aren't they, the Super League stars? They really are. Johnson with a tooth out. And stitches wanted by Obbs at the end, and stitches in for Korkidas. Interesting about Paul Johnson, by the way. He's one of the few players now to have played in every season of the Super League. Paul Johnson. Cunningham, Long, senior, out here tonight, and Terry Newton, who won't be playing in every season of the Super League. Here on in are the others.
A player very proud of his gnashers as well, Eddie. He'll be devastated if he's lost a tooth.
Well, that must be one of the, I mean, I know you talk about bones and all that. I would think having a tooth knocked out must be agonising.
Try a dozen.
More aesthetics, I think.
What an untidy play the ball that was, but the referee says play on. Oh, Korkidas is through! Webb cuts him down, though, with help from Delaney. Terrible play the ball, though. This is Obst down the short side. It's Henderson. Halted on the last tackle as he 20 metres away. No,
he's got a
gets
penalty.
The penalty for a high shot.
He picks out Webb here.
How is that high?
That didn't look anything wrong at all.
He got his neck at the end.
That's shocking. Now, that should have been a penalty anyway, so... What about the break by Michael Korkidas?
Which penalty at the play the ball, Steve-O? One way or the other, or what?
Toss a coin. You know the laws.
You've called for the penalty, not me. This is Jeffrey. Now Korkidas. What about his run, as you say?
Move! 2 feet. Hold.
Underneath the post of Wakefield with Sam Obbs, the organiser-in-chief, Jeffries. Back it comes to Morrison. Oh, you don't want to be doing things like that. And John Keir knows it.
Why
Too
are we
fancy in this
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
I mean, surely they learned their lesson in regards to what they did with only a minute and a half remaining in the first half. That led to a try by Leeds, and now in a great position, just up the jumper.
Bill's on the case again. Bill?
Yeah, Danny Kerman, the latest casualty for Wakefield, and just a result of a tackle he took a few moments ago. He really was hit hard and fell awkwardly, and it looks like a knee problem for Kerman. Immediately replaced. Richard Moore has gone back out there, so the Wildcats are dropping like flies at the moment.
They are, aren't they? Salford coming back against Warrington. It's tight all over the show at the moment. No tighter than here. 18 all, 55 minutes on the clock.
Well, we're approaching the final quarter, and you'd have to say that Leeds must be wondering, will they run out of steam? It was a very, very tough game last weekend.
He just looked like he's running out of steam. Luluwai. Here's a 40-20 effort from Danny Maguire. Out on the full.
Option was good. He's furious with himself.
Yeah.
He knows we're under the cosh. He raises the arm.
No, 4 tackles. Just come down.
Just got too much behind it. No doubt about it. It always surprises me here at Headingley, the width of the whitewash.
Heads in.
So as you can see it, Stephen.
So that he can hit the ball. More chance.
Heads in, Brent.
Must be, what, about 6-inch width, the lines here? Oh, Blaymire was nearly through. Good tackle needed by Jay Pitts.
Hold, go.
Cook, Moore. He goes one way, doesn't he? Richard Moore.
He's worked hard. Remember early in the game, he was given the job of putting the pressure on the kickers. Sinfield and Maguire did a good job as well.
Oh, Dimitri nearly lost that. He held on as Obst plays the ball. Now it's with Henderson.
Just sheer determination now. We saw that little move on the blind side from Obbs that brought the try for Murphy. That's all they need to do again.
Great kick into the in-goal area by Jeffries. It's just too long, though.
Now then, can they muscle up? Far too.
Well, they've got away with that, have they? Yes, they have. They've lost ground.
It's an interesting tap on the 20. You end up back on the 19-metre line, isn't it?
Come on. Move. Go.
That's one of the most experienced players on the pitch. Sometimes you just can't legislate for things.
3. Move.
Is it I mean, do they ignore what's happening from
No.
up above? Is it just natural instinct we're
Well,
seeing
I
here?
think a bit of natural instinct. I think he wanted to just move them around a little bit off the tap and vary it up. And look, it'll come off for somebody like Kevin Sinfield. 9 times out of 10, he's a fabulous player. Just short of the poor pass that time.
This is Eastwood in possession. Only a couple of starts for him this year. It's his 11th appearance in all. Last tackle. Sinfield hoists it high. It's a bit long, though.
Not too sure.
Well claimed, Aaron Murphy. There's Matt Blaymire.
Move. Back it up. Go.
Blanche.
It was a great take by Blaymire because the height that Sinfield got on this, eyes on the ball at all time. Great example for any youngsters watching.
3. Move.
Nothing to choose between these two sides here at Headingley as Gleeson drives it forward for Wakefield once again. They're in the contest, the Wildcats, with Jeffries now. Scampering run down the line.
Oh, big hit.
Lee Smith.
Fantastic.
What a hit on Jeffries first of all, and then he did enough to force the ball over the whitewash.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Bang. Slippy conditions. Just squeezed away off the chest.
What was the thinking there, though? At very best, he was going to get caught on the sideline on the last tackle, the worst place to kick from. Sam Obbs is standing outside. They've already taken 4 drives up that short side. Get it back into the middle and you get a better kicking chance from there.
It has surprised me somewhat that John Keir has got the message out to give Ben Jeffries the
Heads in, Jay.
kicking game option.
Out.
We've seen it come very, very good from Paul Cook and Sam Obst.
Leeds get possession from the scrum. It could have gone against Lee Smith. It looked as though he pushed the ball over the line. 18-26 at Hull Kingston, at Hull rather, beg pardon, black and white fans, at Hull. 26-18. Peacock. Now, Diskin waits dummy half for Leeds.
Good run.
That's a great run. That's a great offload to Peacock as well. Look at Peacock, he just keeps the legs going, doesn't he? March, march, stamp, stamp, keep going. Maguire, Obst has flown out to the line, he gets the ball away though, and here is Ryan Hall. That's good scrambling defence from the Wildcats. Webb.
Got to be a kick into the corner, surely. They've applied the pressure.
Crossfield kick from Maguire. That ball has been lost.
No advantage, it looked to me. Yeah, I think Eastwood definitely got a fingertip to this, but what about the cover defence? He knew there was nowhere on the outside. Blanche has had a fine game. He really has worked hard.
Now it's Leeds' turn to hunt the mistake. On the hour mark, 18-all at Headingley. In 3 really good contests this year between these two. And remember the one at Wakefield last year when Leeds pinched it in the last minute again. Demetriou will get to his feet. Here's Korkidas. Diskin on him in a flash.
Great work. You just get the feeling that Wakefield will not make a break deep down from their own half. They've got to get into a good position. And they're very dangerous, but that's not a very good kick.
No, he went for the 40-20. Webb will run it back. There's the kicker. Now, Donald taking on Morrison and Korkidas.
I think the side that's got the most patience will come up with a victory tonight. It's not now a time to start for heroics, keep the ball alive or anything fancy. He knows it. Oh, it's offloaded though. It's a good one as well.
To Badiris. He's just on, as you see, for Greg Eastwood. Maguire on the inside. Oh, clobbered was Kylie Luluwai by Morrison as he received that. Stab over the top for the corner. Good kick again. Leeds will once more hunt the mistake from Wakefield from this scrum.
Well, if Wakefield go on and win this game, Eddie, they're a real chance of getting to the grand final, because every odds would tell you here now that Leeds are going to be the stronger side at home in the final quarter. And if Wakefield can do this, they really have moved on to another level. Last year they did remarkably well. They finished 5th in the competition, faded out in the playoffs, but they're showing here now a mental toughness and a resilience that you'll need in pressure football at the end of the season. Can they match it here now in the remaining 18 minutes of this match?
Well, let's hope next week we see a contest like this between England and France. It would do England no harm at all with the 4 nations coming up the end of the year. England-France at Lee next Saturday, and they were the numbers and the website that you need for the information about that match. It's next Friday, it's live with us. That's the information you really need. It's on Sky Sports HD1.
I can't wait as well. Steve McNamara has selected a very strong, well-balanced side.
The new breed.
And experience there as well, where it matters.
We're 17.5 minutes away from the end of this game. We've got Kevin Sinfield on the field. We've got Paul Cook on the field, who can pop over a 1 pointer or 2 in their time, and so can Obst, I think. I think he's done it in the past. When will you start the call? When will the
keep it on ice?
When will the
keep it on ice,
out?
please.
Well, look, Warrington have just got one. They're 17-10 up.
70 minutes, absolutely spot on. One side will elect to go for it.
So the soapbox is away at the moment.
It is. You pinched it. Oh, that's good work. But again, it surprised me. They looked very, very tired when they trudged off, the Wakefield players. I thought perhaps they wouldn't have much left in the tank, but let's give them great credit for that. And look at that wonderful defence, staying in one line, not being sucked out. Okay, Leeds are offloading, but they're getting there in numbers of the Wildcats. It's a great effort.
Harlequins Crusaders on Sunday, 5:30 HD2. Here's Peacock. Still going, Peacock. Badiris. Sinfield. Dab over the top. No, taking them on with Delaney. There's Badiris, here's Sinfield. There's the crossfield kick for Maguire to chase. Oh, it bounces horribly, but Hobbs to the rescue. Came off the base of the post.
Wonderful kick by Sinfield.
Intelligence.
Yeah, look, this guy reads the game ever so well. He came off the post, and Danny Maguire cannot believe it. You think he's going to just pop up for me? No, it isn't.
That's combination, Steve-O. That's people knowing what their teammate's going to do.
As we mentioned earlier, Brian, the combination that, OK, Leeds without Rob Burrow, a lot of people perhaps thought it might be a big blow to them, but the way that Sinfield Maguire have operated since he picked up that injury, they have been outstanding.
They've known each other all their careers. That's going to be a big help.
Here's Senior taking on Morrison, nearly through, but Morrison just hung on to his bootlaces. Badiris with a scampering run, down he goes. Morrison involved in the tackle again with Corkidas, got to do a ton of work. Sinfield, Webb.
Oh, it's going to be a penalty.
He doesn't like it.
Take him another 10 metres.
Yes.
Well, at a time like this, when you're level pegging, you've got to use your brains a little bit. And it was obvious that Diskin had gone a few, but Webb does this, bounces the ball on the floor, and look where Wakefield are now.
And it's with Tavita Leolatu, who ran them ragged at Murrayfield. With a little press of a key on the McLennan laptop as Henderson drives it forward again. Blaymire waits for Wakefield. Boy, it would be a famous win if the Wildcats came up with this. This is Cook. They haven't won home and away league games against Leeds for almost 20 years. They've got the sniff of it here with Leolatu. That's good work from Badiris.
This is where Ops and Cook have to work their magic. Got to have the dummy runners, got to make sure that they're all working for each other.
Ops, it's a great kick. Just too long.
Oh, Blanche straight into the hoarding. And two players down. The officials just seen it now. But no.
Sinfield has gone for a long kick.
And he's got it. Ops, I can't believe that Ops he's the engineer, but what about the restart from Kevin Sinfield? I remember him doing it 2 years back when they brought into the new rule. Might have been 3 years, I'm not so sure, but down at Harlequins in London. And that's turned the game around. And they turned a victory when it looked like the Quins were going to come up with a win.
It's the optional kick, the optional restart. They can either tap it or do what Sinfield did then and hoof it long and go for the head and feet at the scrum. And now they've got more territory coming because there's a high shot just gone in on Brett Delaney.
Yeah, his head went back, no doubt about it. Paul King did not miss. This is the restart. Superb.
He reads the game so well.
Yeah, he's a very talented player.
Here's Kevin Sinfield, the Leeds skipper. 350th appearance tonight for Kevin Sinfield. What a servant. Topped the kicking charts last year for the third year in a row after the weekly rounds. Ball's come free. Play on, says the referee.
Well, that's going to be a penalty now. Well, he's given a knock on both ways. They'll take the first one.
Wakefield's head and feet.
Yeah, Sinfield's furious. Not so sure that Ian Smith will enjoy what has been said to him. He seemed to lose it. Maybe we'll see it better from this angle. It looks like King certainly just had a little bit of a leverage there. Well, it's getting very close to that 7-0. And the 1 point when we're going through the mines.
Simon's varnishing the soapbox as we speak. It's got to come, though. It's so tight, this. It's got to come.
Surrender!
The one of the soapbox.
Both. Leolatu down the short side.
Can they get into it?
Remember the game he had, this fellow, at Murrayfield?
Yeah, and then, amazingly, when John Keir threw him back on late on, he went from goal to lead.
This is Corkidas. That's the last tackle, not within range here, and only on the 68th minute. So it's with Obst. He just hoists it high. It's a good kick.
Boy, that is a good kick.
Brent Webb just managed to take it with Blaymire all over him.
It was good play as well by Blaymire, because he made sure that Webb took that ball before making contact. And he certainly had a second go at him.
From the very first minute tonight, Wakefield have been up for this challenge, you know. When they led 12-0, it was going perfectly, and then they fought their way back into the match in this second half. Just the one try from Aaron Murphy we've had. It's 18-all.
They've got enough energy to win the game. You can see that by how quickly they're getting back into defensive positions. Do they have the intelligence to win it? An error here by Leeds inside their own half gives Wakefield what they've been searching for in the final 12 minutes. Possession close to Leeds' try line.
I don't know where he's seen the knock on there.
Well, it was a little fumble, I feel, from Danny Badera. Oh, no,
it's that one.
Yeah, it's that one. There, I thought Badera's.
I thought Luluai had been pinged, but it's not.
Yeah, he's lost it. At a vital moment as well.
Spot on, Ian Smith. He got a great view of it too.
He's refereed well, to be fair, and he's understood the fact that there's been bad conditions, very slippery, and it's hard to get away quickly from the man that's been tackled.
This is King for Wakefield.
Another two drives. We'll go for it. Obst or Cook.
A bit early. Latu going wide with Henderson.
He's
lost it. So Peacock has it back for the Rhinos. I thought, by the way, that Jamie Peacock was out for 2 months with that injury. But
you're talking about Jamie Peacock here?
Yeah, Jamie, yeah.
That was good work from Delaney. Swinging arm and the ball carrying arm, and that was sufficient. Now Badira, that looked high. Certainly looked high for me from Jason Dimitru. Got away with it.
Ablett. Embarking the instructions, Jamie Peacock, as he will be next week for England. Webb goes wide to Delaney. Might have drifted a little forward. Donald is waiting at dummy half. They're on halfway. Sinfield, Luluai.
I think it's a little bit too far out to go for the drop goal. I think they'll put plenty of height on this one. Sinfield's there on the blind side. Here it comes.
Up it goes, and Maguire's chasing it. Right underneath the crossbar, but too long. Here's Dimitri, who's just been told by the referee just to have a word with the team about their discipline. Oh, he's lost it! And play on, he says. Smith over the top, he's backed himself. Taken out there, Lee Smith. Penalty here.
Sin bin.
Morrison's in the bin.
Yeah. I was just about to say, why on earth did Lee Smith go for broke? But they just got possession of the football. See, Dimitri loses possession here. Why on earth he opted for that one, but it's quite obvious.
A good job that Glenn Morrison got to him, actually, because that was going dead.
Absolutely, he's blessed Glenn Morrison pulled him back. Otherwise, he'd had some explaining to do.
But they are a team of risk takers. If you look at them for the last few years, Sinfield will try a short drop-out one when they're down in the last few minutes. Their risk-taking has paid off for them. Jay Pitt's offloaded in his own 20-metre zone just 2 minutes ago.
Have a look how far dead this goes.
I know, but they take risks, and eventually they'll back themselves. Eventually they pay off for them, and history shows it has.
Yeah, I dare say, first tackle, I'm not sure that was the best play, but...
Well, they've got the penalty as a result, which could mean that Sinfield edges them ahead here. Remember, Headingley, the scene of the only other Super League draw this year so far, 20-all against Bradford. We were here for that. We've got 2018 now in the Leeds Rhinos' favour. And no hint of Leeds going for broke there and having a go for the 6 points. Kevin Sinfield said, let's just nudge ourselves ahead on the scoreboard and see where this takes us.
Well, when Lee Smith got the ball and kicked over the top, Brian McLennan, the Leeds coach, would have been having kittens. So what on earth would he have done that for? Set up for the 1 point. It came their way. As I say, the kick was far too strong.
26 apiece at the KC Stadium. What a fight back from Hull FC. Talking about only the second draw maybe we are watching in Super League here. Well, maybe we will see a draw at the KC Stadium tonight.
Now this is where Kevin Sinfield comes into his own. This is where he controls it. That's a good kick. Okay, it's too long, but he knows that they can all square up on that 30-metre line. He's had a fine game. He's marshalled his troops exceptionally well in difficult conditions, but I must say it's been so entertaining. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
The 12 men of Wakefield against the 13 of the Leeds Rhinos. And 10 minutes ago, it's still 17-10 Warrington at Salford. Good effort from Salford, going for 3 in a row tonight. This is Dimitriou.
Discipline has got to be the key now for the Rhinos. They realise they can't afford to give away a penalty. Not with the ability of the goal kicking of Paul Cook.
There is Cook at dummy half. Gets it from Henderson's heel back. It's King. This is Leo Latu, senior over the top. Flick forward off Gleeson's fingertips. 10,000 in the South Stand left referee Ian Smith in no doubt about the decision he had to give then.
He had to take a chance, didn't he? Good effort on there, and he just could not get it going backwards. Golden opportunity now, and as I say, you'd like to think that Leeds will close things down, but they're not that type of team, are they? They're always adventurous. I must say, late in that first half, Eddie, I thought the Rhinos, the way that they supported each other and they offloaded, was quite tremendous. It would have pleased their coach, Brian McLennan. Still plenty to go, though. Wakefield are not done.
5 minutes and the rain has ceased, but it's still greasy out there. Here's Medeiros. Peacock. Up he goes again. Up he goes again. Medeiros once more. Sinfield attacking the line. Sinfield to Medeiros. Brilliant pass. Brilliant pass from Kevin Sinfield to Medeiros. Medeiros, who scored the match winner at Murrayfield just a few short weeks ago, might well have won the match for the Rhinos here again. But the pass from Kevin Sinfield was just instinctive and brilliant. Medeiros was on the end of it, and looks like Leeds, well, they'll have an eye on what's going on at the KC Stadium. They could be fourth after all this.
Great sides, great players, know exactly what to do and to put themselves in a position. The final pass was outstanding, but the build-up to it, look, he goes one way, then steps, he commits them, he commits the full-back. Medeiros has done it again. He did it up in Edinburgh with just 2 minutes to go, a little bit earlier on this occasion. But that really was out of the top drawer. Can he add the icing to the cake?
It's academic from that range in front of the sticks. 26-18, Leeds look like they're going to break Wakefield's hearts again.
Well, I'm possibly biased towards him, but I thought he had the biggest influence in the last few minutes last week, and Jamie Peacock's had a similar one again today. We didn't mention his name in that try, but his charge and quick play of the ball was what set the platform for Sinfield and Medeiros to show off their skills. About the speed of the play back into it, and again it was Peacock charging it forward and too strong to handle.
Short kick-off from Wakefield. They've not given up the ghost yet. Here is a penalty for Wakefield now. Not standing square at the play of the ball. Play on, says the referee. Henderson thought he'd maybe tapped it a bit early, but the whistle had gone. 3 to go, 26-18. Here is Obst. Obst gives it then to Paul Cook. He finds Gleeson, who nearly lost it again. Gleeson, though, doing well. Looks like Warrington might have beaten Salford now. Leo Latu going for the line himself and losing the ball, but it comes back to Dimitriou. Now what's happened here?
Has the ball gone backwards? They were fingertipped from both sides, but Dimitriou has picked it up on the half volley. He's gone over. There's nothing wrong with the touchdown. Latu gets the ball away. It's going backwards. That's okay. That was kicked before a Wakefield player gets it, and this should be a TRY. I think that was a steal, and then the kick.
There's a fingertip there.
Knock on by Paul Cook.
Paul Cook, fingertip, knock on. Look.
Let's see. Frame by frame. Does he? I'm not so sure.
Speed it up a little, I think.
I'm not so sure. Now look at the leg. It's going round the ball, so that means that the ball is pulling away from it. Oh, this is a big decision for James Child. Nothing wrong with the grounding. You can see how Lee Smith has got the right boot going in a circle.
There's no clear evidence that he knocks on, Brian.
No.
You have to give him the benefit of the doubt to the attacking side.
Well, you think so, Phil?
Well, there's no evidence that he knocks on, so you have to form a judgment from that.
That's Paul Cook, got a fingertip to it. He's looking to see for the grounding. Do we have some vital seconds? Nervous time for the Rhinos.
Vic, get out there quick.
What say James Child?
Try is given.
Wait.
Try is given. It didn't come up as benefit of the doubt, but it must have been benefit of the doubt. Paul Cook, adjudged not to have got a fingertip to it. And Paul Cook has missed. 26-22. Another close-run thing between these two sides.
Certainly was. They tested it, and good play by Leo Latu. How he got this ball away, or was it stolen perhaps from Peacock? Maybe it was. Either way, it didn't matter. The skipper, Jason Demetriou, has plucked a try, and Kevin Sinfield, who's had a tremendous match, this will be deep, but make sure it doesn't go too deep. And he's done the right thing, kept it on the floor.
I wonder what Amos Roberts is thinking about that decision, because he came up with a very delicate knock-on that cost Wigan their Challenge Cup quarter-final last week. Warrington have beaten Salford. Wakefield. Well, it's time now to throw caution to the wind if they can. 1.5 minutes to go. Kermond is buried under the Leeds tacklers. To Leo Latu again. Back it comes to Obst. Obst then pops it up to Demetriou. He's seen a gap and he's lost the ball. Thumps the pitch with disgust, and probably not only loses the ball, loses any chance of claiming a draw at least.
Well, look at the man who's around his ankles.
Yes.
He's got both of them strapped together. Jamie Peacock, I do say he has to be the best signing this club have made in the last 30 years. That's my opinion. I'd like to debate it with anybody who can put forward another candidate. But the impact he's had and the success that he's led the side to, and the influence he's had over the younger players, just appears to me to have been the significant step up to success.
Lee Smith. Just content to take the tackle there, Lee Smith. There's a penalty, and Sinfield just might chip the ball over the top here and just say, well, we'll take a 6-point victory. Yes, he'll go for 2. Leeds have won the match. It just now is a question of by how many. And there's the reason the penalty's given.
Well, Henderson put his hand in here around the neck, throat, jaw region for Lee Smith, and I think it'll end a very happy night for Leeds. They knew that the Wildcats were going to come here very determined, having had a week's rest to prepare for this game. The disappointment of what happened in Murrayfield. And the Leeds momentum continues.
There we go, the full-time siren has gone in the background, just as it went in the background of the first half when Sinfield lined up the conversion. This is a penalty, and that is a successful kick from Kevin Sinfield. 28-22 the final score, a valiant effort again from Wakefield to no avail.